recommended. So instead of this, I would say for the vertex, x equals negative b over 2a, which in this case is negative 2 over 2.
Isn't it positive 2?
Yeah.
B is negative 2. The whole thing is negative. It will be positive 1/3 will be my x value. We would have gotten that with completing the square as well, or putting it in the vertex form. Now, this is still going to be kind of annoying, because I'd have to put 1/3 into here to find the y-coordinate, and I have to find f of 1/3. So that's going to be 3 times 1/3 squared minus 2 times 1/3 minus 4. So that's 3 times 1/9 minus 2/3. Let's put 4 into thirds and make that 12 thirds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is 1/3 minus 2/3 minus 12 thirds, which is negative 13 thirds.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's not a democracy, Anita. Don't feel outvoted if you think it's. When somebody, there's a right number and the rest are wrong.
Yes, I know it's mine.
Okay.
Does that find your vertex?
This tells me the vertex is at x equals 1/3.
How do you get
Negative
15 thirds? Wouldn't it be 15 thirds?
1 minus 2 is negative 1. Minus 12 more gets me negative 13.
Okay.
Please double check me. This is something. Okay. Okay, so there's my vertex. Next thing. Okay, let's do the y-intercept next because that's easiest. F of 0, in this case, will simply be negative 4. So 0, negative 4 is my y-intercept.
Wait, whoa. How do you get...
Put 0 in for x.
Oh, okay.
That goes bye-bye. That goes bye-bye.
And that finds you the y.
The y-intercept, yes. Now the x-intercepts. We can try that trick method where that'll actually work. You can always use the quadratic formula, but I think I see something else that'll work. Remember those transformations I discussed for finding the intercepts? You start with f of x equals 3x squared minus 2x minus 4. Then you change this into a new function. We'll call it f sub 2 of x. And that is x squared minus 2x minus 12. I got this function by... This might not work. I don't think this will work well. I think
Then why did you do it?
I was trying. Remember I said you multiply by this, and then is there anything that multiplies to 12, the negative 12 that gives a negative 2? No.
Wait,
I was mis-subtracting in my head.
What would be the way to do it with the distance formula?
You mean the quadratic formula?
Quadratic, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to that because this isn't going to work well.
You just plug everything in.
Just plug everything in.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to have to do. This is going to have to be x equals negative b, which is positive 2, plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared. If you put your b squared in your calculator, make sure you put any negative signs inside parentheses when you do it, or you get the wrong answer in here, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 4,
Over 2a.
over 2a. What did I forget to check first that I gave you advice about on Friday?
Didn't you already do it?
Oh,
Oh, wait, no, it's something else. My bad.
b squared minus
So
4ac.
if everything underneath that equals I or something, then an irrational.
If it's positive, then I'll have a real answer and I will have intercepts.
But if it's negative,
Correct.
it won't touch the x.
Yes, I will have unreal
But
solutions.
it
That's
will
what you
be
were thinking of.
positive.
It will be positive because this will be positive and it'll be minus a negative number. So that's all going to be positive. So we're going to get x equals 2 plus or minus square root of 4 plus 48.
What is
that right?
16 times
4.
3?
Yeah. Or 12 times 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whichever's easiest. Over 6. Okay, so this is x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 52 over 6. 52. Let me do that prime factorization over here. make myself a little factor tree. 52 is 2 times 26, right?
Yeah.
Which is 2 times 13.
Yep.
You're good.
2 occurs twice, so I have 2 plus or minus 2 root 13 over 6, which is 3 plus or minus root 13 over, I'm sorry,
Whoa.
1 plus or minus root 13 over 3.
Wait.
Please double check me. Yes.
How do you get the 1 if there's the 2 plus or minus 2? It would be 2 plus or minus 1.
Here's the trick. I keep skipping these little steps, Lauren. Okay, what if I write it as 2 over 6 plus 2 root 13 over 6 first?
Okay.
Then
You
2 6
simplify
is 1/3. Okay, plus or minus, when I have multiple factors on the top, things being multiplied together, I can reduce one of the factors in the numerator with whatever's in the denominator, so that would be 1 root 13 over 3.
Okay.
So that's 1 plus or minus root 13 over 3. Either way to write it's correct. Got the vertex. Got a y-intercept. Got some x-intercepts. That's really enough to graph. It also asks for domain and range. Domain of a parabola is always negative infinity to infinity. Range of a parabola is this thing smiling or frowning?
Smiling.
Smiling. So the range is going to be from some number up to positive infinity. That number is always going to be the y value. So that's going to be negative 13/3 up to infinity since it's smiling. I leave the graph to you guys.
Ugh.
This graph will be hideous. But the process isn't any different from parabola to parabola. Only the hideousness of the numbers changes.
Would 1 minus square root of 13 over 3, would that be a negative number?
No, it shouldn't be because,
Okay.
well, maybe. Hang on a second. Square root of 6, okay, square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. So this square root is somewhere between 3 and 4. 1 minus 4 would be negative 3,
3, which would be negative 1.
which would be negative 1.
Well, 1 minus...
So it should actually be a negative decimal.
Okay.
That makes sense? Double check me on that.
Shouldn't that be including negative 13 over 3?
Yes, it should. Thank you, Stephen. Excellent. Love it when my errors are politely corrected. I love it when they're discovered. It means I have a thinking audience out there. Okay. The homework tonight is
Fun?
word problems that involve looking at parabolas, or possibly setting up parabolas.
Can we do 44 than that?
It's 44.
See that one that's written down on the three?
Yeah, it's actually up there. I left a blank space because I'm going to go back, just to be compulsive, I'm going to go back and fill in next week's grid when I get a minute. Last week's grid when I get a minute, which I never did. So that's a little bit of... You know, I'm going to turn you loose on the word problems. Connor, you want to do so that you can start? I'm not going to do any with you yet. They're similar to the ones on the last test. Connor, you want to do 44 with me up here?
Wait, what do you mean you're turning us loose?
I mean, start the homework. What is it, Drew?
Is today the 19th?
Today's the 19th.
Page 285, 58 through 66 even.
Even. So that's 58, 60, 62, 64, 66. Just 5 problems.
Yay!
Does that mean, how hard do you think those are then?
Hard.
Hard.
All right. Smart children.